Hey, welcome back to Danford Golf. Today we're going to talk about the Blast Motion Golf Sensor. If you don't know what it is, it's really going to be more applied towards your putting stroke, which is a great time to have something like this right now, because if you're at home, like most of us are, kind of stuck in place until all these restrictions are lifted, this is something that can really help you fine-tune your stroke, so when we can actually get out and play golf again, you're going to be making all these putts, shooting lower scores. So let's go ahead and get going. We're going to talk about the Blast Motion Golf Sensor. Alright, so the Blast Motion Golf Sensor. When it comes, it's going to come in a box. You're going to get a charging port that you just plug into a USB port. And the little sensor, you're just going to lay it on top, and that's how it charges. So it's super simple. Pretty much everybody who has technology has a USB port. You're going to get a regular size grip or a standard size grip, and then you'll get an oversized grip for all those people who have those fat putting grips. Alright, and then the sensor itself is actually, you just roll it back and you can pop out the sensor. That's how you put it on the charging disc. All right, super simple, super easy to exchange into different sizes. All right, and then the little sensor itself, it detects the vibration from the club that you're using, and that's how it gives you the data. It is good for any Apple device, and if you have like an Android or something else like that, it should work with that also. So you're going to download an app, and the app will connect to the sensor. All right, and when all that sets up, it's going to get you all sorts of different information. We're going to go over how to set it up with the putter and some of the numbers that we like to look for when we're using the Blast Motion sensor. All right, so when you're setting up the sensor, there's a little man. I'll put a little picture up there, but basically his head is going to be at the top of the club, and then he'll have a little spine that you'll see in the picture that runs straight down. The spine is supposed to match up with the bottom of the club or the face of the club. So when it's all set up correctly, all right, everything should be square. So if you can see that, it should be square with the club face. This is probably one of the things that might be a little bit of a fault, is that if you don't have it completely square, and since it's such a fine motion, we're talking degrees of motion, 1 to 2, stuff like that, it can kind of give you a little reading that might be off, just because of human error, just because it's so hard to make it precise. All right. Now, before we talk about everything else, there are great deals online right now. So usually it costs around $150. I know right now, since we're all stuck inside, it's selling for $75 at the Blast Motion site. All right. So if you really like this video and you think this is something that should help you, which obviously is, it's definitely going to help. All right, there's great deals on it. You can go grab one for yourself right now. All right, so my Blast Motion sensor is on my club. It's all set. Then you're just going to open up the app in your iPhone or Android, whatever. You're going to hear that little ding noise. That means it's connected to it. All right, we'll go over, there's a bunch of different numbers. Can get a little bit confusing. All right, but I usually look at face angle at impact, and I look at total stroke time. Those are kind of the two indicators that I focus on the most. I'll go over more of what it looks like on the screen here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and hit a putt. This is, I don't know, like 40 feet away. As soon as I hit the putt, you're going to hear the noise that it was successful, and then we can kind of go over the numbers and what it looks like. Okay, so you're going to...
Backstroke length, 27.5 inches.
Oh, I almost went in, I think. So anyway, you just heard it kind of reads it out, and you can choose what you want it to read it out at. All right, and I'll put all these numbers on there. So my face angle at impact was actually a degree open, and my total stroke time was less than a second. So the reason I focus on those two things the most is because I believe, and this is how I coach putting, is every stroke, no matter what length, should take around a second. Okay, and of course, if you have less face, if you're more square at impact, of course you're going to make more putts, especially when it comes to those lower ones. All right, so overall, I think this is one of the best inexpensive putting devices that you can have. It's a really inexpensive device compared to most. Just the one fault is really that it's hard to get it to square up each time. So it's all done by eyeball, so there's human error, of course. But if you're really looking to improve your putting during this time, go look at that blast motion sensor. You can check it out online. There's training videos. Again, you could hear that it was audible, so anything that you really need when it comes to putting, this simple device can really help you. So make sure you take advantage of that.